What's good, everybody? It is Mike Man WBA here, your coach of the West Bromwich Altarias. We are back for week 3 of the TBF. Hopefully this episode will be able to go up on time and that YouTube won't suck as hard as it did last week. But we are here with our week 3 battle against OnlineOrphan. It is an interesting matchup, to say the least. Mainly in part because instead of, well, let's start at the beginning. When I was prepping for this team, OnlineOrphan, obviously the coach of the Portland Zydogs, in our spreadsheet of all the teams, OnlineOrphan's team is right next to Gumby's team of the Newcastle United Mets. And I realised when I went through and team built that I team built for Gumby's team instead of OnlineOrphan's team. So this team was built to face stuff like Megalatias and Weavile, and not, well, to be fair, OnlineOrphan does have Megalatios, which might have been where I got confused, but it's not prepped for Sylveon and Celesteela, stuff like that. So we're working against the odds already from the start in this one. So we have brought Mega Aggron. This was Curse, Avalanche, Heavy Slam, and Rest. We have Gallade, which was Choice Scarf, Zen Headbutt, Close Combat, Leaf Blade, and something else that I can't... Oh, Ice Punch. Florges, which was Leftovers, and it was Synthesis, Aromatherapy, Moonblast, and Toxic. We have the Entei, which was Firium Z, and it was Sunny Day, in case we wanted to get a Z Sunny Day and get a speed boost. It was Sacred Fire, and obviously we can have the Inferno Overdrive for that. It was Stomping Tantrum, and also I believe it was Extreme Speed. I can't remember off the top of my head. Only played this yesterday, but I've slept since then, so let's have a look. Oh no, sorry, Entei also had Toxic, sorry about that. Then we have the Focus Sash Galvantula, with the Sticky Web, Bug Buzz, Thunder, and Energy Ball. Could have, sorry about that. Could have gone Giga Drain, but I wanted the extra little bit of damage and the potential special defense drop. And then we have Colberberry Mew with Stealth Rock, Defog, Shadow Ball, and Aura Sphere. So I was looking at his team, and I very quickly realised that I'd prepped for the wrong team. And the major thing that I spotted was that Gumby, I don't believe, has a Rapid Spinner, but he has a couple of Defoggers, whereas Orphan has brought that Serena, which is obviously a very good Rapid Spinner. So we have to worry about that. We don't have a Ghost type. We didn't bring Silvally for our potential Ghost type for the Spin Block. So unfortunately, he can Rapid Spin away all of our things. So we're going to start off. We went with the Mew to begin with. He went for the Rhydon. Switch straight away into the Jellicent as we get up to the Stealth Rock. And I just go for the Shadow Ball. Luckily get a special defense drop as well, while he goes for the Toxic. While of course our Synchronized Toxics him back. And now this actually was very important for the entire battle. Not a misplay on his part by any means, because Toxicking Mew is always good, but getting the Toxic on that Jellicent really helps out later on in the match. So he switches in here to Serena, because obviously he wants to go for that Rapid Spin. And I know from that Shadow Ball damage that is a max special defense, max HP Serena, and I think it potentially had to be Assault Vest as well. I can't remember a lot of the sets, but I definitely prepped for this one. definitely used the damage calculator and stuff and made sure everything was good. So here I didn't actually notice that he'd gone for the rapid spin as he switches into Celesteela here. So I went for another Shadow Ball, and then Mew goes down to the Toxic. So unfortunately we have no hazards up on the field at this point, but I go into Galvantula, and he switches into the Rhydon, but I go straight for the Sticky Web because I knew that Celesteela had to switch out. And here is where the Energy Ball comes in handy, picking up the KO on the Rhydon straight away. So that is their first one down. Galvantula getting another kill this season. He's got quite a few, probably more than we might have expected. He goes into the Sylveon and goes for the Protect while I Thunder. Just going to hit off Thunders because I know it's going to do a lot of damage. Fortunately get the paralysis there, although he doesn't get fully paralysed. Does go for the Hyper Voice, which does a lot of damage. We switch here into the Florges, which does just under, or takes just under a fifth from the Hyper Voice, although we do have the leftovers. And I switch again into the Mega Aggron. I switched into Florges first, just because I wanted to make sure that he wasn't going to switch into like an Infernape or something, although that might have not been the best play. But here he switches into Celesteela on my Curse, and he goes for the Leech Seed as I Curse up again. So I'm now at +2, but he does have that Leech Seed, which is a problem because Leech Seed is a bad thing for him to have. Now here he goes for the Earthquake. Obviously we are at +2 defense and we are a Mega Aggron, so we take absolutely nothing from that. It does 10%, and our Avalanche does 84% back to this Celesteela, although obviously he has got leftovers and Leech Seed to get his health back up. He goes into the Jellicent, where we go for another Avalanche, which does a fair amount of damage. Makes me realise that this Jellicent is also specially defensive, which I was a little surprised by. I was looking at his team, and other than his Rhydon, which I'm assuming was physically defensive, he had no physically defensive mons on his team. So my physical threats just kind of did a lot of damage to him. As here we go for the rest on the Mega Aggron after it got low due to those Scalds. He has recovered back up to 76%. We switch out here and go into our Florges, which takes nothing from these Scalds. Currently though, that Jellicent is taking a lot of damage from Toxic, which it is not liking. We go for the Synthesis here while it goes for the Recover, but it then takes 31% from that one. So he's going to have to switch out here into his Celesteela. I choose to go for the Aromatherapy, knowing that he's going to have to switch, get that sleep off the Mega Aggron. I then go here into Galvantula as he goes for the Leech Seed. I could have gone into Mega Aggron, but I suspected another thing was coming. He switches here into the Serena, and I go for the Thunder, which does only 12%, but we do get another paralysis, luckily. And then Galvantula goes down to the Leech Seed. Now here I go into Mega Aggron. I could have gone into Entei, but I suspected that he would have either just gone into either his Infernape or his Jellicent, which would have been a bit of a problem at that point. So we went into Aggron, knowing we'd be able to get another Curse up. And at this point I was calcing for like a special Infernape, although it turns out that at the time we'd have been okay. He goes for another Leech Seed on our Avalanche. Avalanche not doing too much without that damage boost. He switches here into Jellicent, and we switch into Entei, because I didn't want him setting up Autotomizes or something while we were taking that Leech Seed damage. So I switched from Entei back into Florges because he went into the Jellicent. And then just hit a Moonblast here, trying to get a bit of a special attack drop, maybe a crit. Anything would be nice at this point. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. A little bit of a stall battle here, as I just go for Moonblast and he goes for Recover. You see here he switches into Serena, which takes a fair bit of damage from that Moonblast. I know though that Serena can't really do anything to me, so I go for the Moonblast again. He does rapid spin the webs away, which isn't a massive problem at this point. Yes, it would be helpful for his Infernape, but I pretty much have stuff that outspeeds anything else, and I have my counter for that Infernape in Mega Gallade. Sorry, not Mega Gallade, Scarf Gallade. He does actually go into the Infernape here. Goes for a Sword Stance, which is nice because I then know it is not a special variant, which means that Aggron might be able to deal with it with Avalanche or Heavy Slam, either or. They're both not very effective, but I know that the Infernape won't be able to one-shot. However, go for the Moonblast there, do 48%. It is revealed that he is Poison Jab Infernape. He switches here his Infernape out to Sylveon as we go for the Zen Headbutt. Now he doesn't know at this point that I'm Scarfed because obviously he switched out, but he might have a good idea from the fact I switched here into my Entei. And here I decided to go for the Sunny Day. I could have gone for Z Sunny Day, but I knew that I wasn't going to need to outspeed anything because I already outspeed Celesteela, which was going to go down in one hit. Sylveon, which is probably not going to be able to do anything to me anyway. The Jellicent won't be able to do much now the sun is up, and I will obviously outspeed it. So the only thing that would outspeed me is Infernape, and while Infernape in the sun is kind of scary, I pretty much knew it wasn't going to be able to one-shot me, and with the health it's on about 50% at this point. I know that Stomping Tantrum would get the job done. So I go for the Sunny Day. Luckily he gets paralysed, although I don't think it mattered too much. We go for Sacred Fire here, take him down quite a bit, but he's on 35%. Goes into Sylveon again, takes a lot of damage from another Sacred Fire. Does protect, trying to stall out a couple of Sacred Fire turns, maybe hoping for a miss at some point. Unfortunately for him, we do not get that. We get another Sacred Fire kill, and now the Sunny Day is gone, so Sacred Fire would not have killed. So we go for the Inferno Overdrive, picking off the Jellicent. Here he goes into his Infernape, tries to hit off a close combat, does not do enough. We go for the Stomping Tantrum, take out the Infernape, then in comes the Celesteela, which goes down to one more Sacred Fire. So good use finally, I think, of the Entei pick. Didn't get to do anything in the first week. Don't think I brought it last week. If I did, it didn't do too much. This week though, picking up 4 kills. Galvantula picking up 1, and who got the other? Was it Mega Aggron? Who killed the Serena in the end? Was it? Yeah, so it was the Florges got the kill on the Serena. So, but 4 kills for Entei, finally showing off its worth. Apologies to Orphan, in a way, partly because I made him wait an extra day to do this battle, just because I didn't have time, and then also me prepping for Gumby sort of gave me some weird sets that he probably wasn't expecting. Probably wasn't expecting me to bring these mons as well, but luck was on our side this week, and we pick up the 3-0 win. Unfortunately, Gallade didn't get to show off what it was there to do. Or well, I guess it wasn't there to do anything considering, but Gallade actually had a really good matchup against pretty much anything except the Sylveon. So, and I guess the Jellicent. But in the situations that arose, I should say, other mons were more useful. But next week we have to face off against Thorazak, who is a replacement coach. I believe he replaced Kohanks and has completely redone the team. It's got a very interesting sort of Looks like a sort of sunny day core, which could be interesting considering we have the Entei. But he has Mega Houndoom, he has Zygarde 50%, which is his Super Z. He has Milotic, he has Doublade, he has Torkoal, he has Venusaur, has Liepard, has Thunderous Incarnate, Necrozma, which is his attacking Z. He has Aromatisse, he has a Girder, and he has Dowmise. So it's going to be interesting next week what he's going to bring. I am expecting Mega Houndoom and or Torkoal, because looking at his team, he doesn't really have a lot for Mega Aggron, just due to the how defensive it is. Obviously he has that Zygarde 50%, but pretty sure 1,000 arrows doesn't do too much to a Mega Aggron. So it's going to be interesting to see how that one goes. But that is all for this week of the TBF. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next Monday for our week 4 battle against Thorazak. See you then.